I had this reoccurring nightmare for a very long time, and I could recall sprinting out of the house knowing that someone was following me. And he's got a gun. The bullets passed right by my head. And I keep running. I turn around, and that's when I realized it was Randy. Sometimes I would wake up screaming. I had this nightmare every night. Oh my God, she's beautiful. How could anybody hurt somebody as beautiful as her? He's a monster. I'm sorry that had to happen to her. I'm sorry she had to go through the same things that I did. It was a trap, and we both fell in it. The only difference is I made it out, and she didn't. I'm really sorry, honey. I'm really sorry. I met Randy in a church that I was going to. My initial first impression of him was, this is a good guy. Because he was always so nice and cheerful and smiling and good-looking, tall. So I came early one day and sat next to him. That's when our relationship started. When I started dating Randy Gay, I was not looking for a relationship. It just happened. We liked each other. He just seemed like the kind of person that I could trust. He treated me like I was a queen. I believe that Randy was married once prior, but I didn't really think anything of it. I had heard that Randy had a past and that it wasn't a good one, but I trust in God, and I believe that everybody deserves a second chance. His past is his past. Let it go.
What do you think? Dinner tonight?
I thought I found my partner. I thought I'd found my soulmate. But I didn't. The more I look back on it, I can see it better. Randy was using me and was playing me for a fool. And I think that made him happy because I was playing right into his little game. One night, we were talking, just talking. I asked him about his past, and he said, "Are you sure you want to know?"
It might make you think differently about me.
And I said, "Yeah, I do." And he said, "Okay." He told me that one day his father had gotten physical with a woman that Randy was dating. And things got out of hand and Randy shot his father to protect her.
Down and kill him.
When he told me he had shot his father, I was scared.
My God.
Up to that point, I never saw the dark side of him. I didn't know what to think.
They put me away for a long time.
I was very shocked when I heard that Randy was capable of doing that, because he was this sweet, loving man that I knew or thought I knew. He was sentenced to 20 years, but he got out on good behavior. He probably thought that I was going to leave, and I wasn't going to do that.
I really appreciate you telling me the truth.
I was touched by his vulnerability and his honesty. He told me he was trying to turn his life around, and I believed him. In my eyes, God put him in my life for a reason. Like I said, everybody deserved a second chance, so I gave him one. But I didn't know everything. When we got married, I thought the past was the past for both of us. I thought my future was going to be good. I thought everything was going to be perfect. It wasn't. Randy and I had gone over to his friend's house, and this friend was his best friend. Everything seemed like it was okay. Everything seemed fine. And then something was said which triggered Randy's reaction, and Randy punched him, and then it was on. All I could see was just rage. His eyes had changed. His face had changed. His full demeanor had changed completely. It was shocking to me, but I was screaming and crying and telling them both to stop. He looked at me with daggers and fire in his eyes. I was terrified. When the fight ended, the friend looked bad. I think Randy had broke his nose. He had blood coming down the side of his face. Randy had scrapes, bruises, torn clothes. I was very scared to see Randy act that way. I'd never seen him act like that before.
What was that?
To me, seeing him with that much rage in him and beating up his best friend scared me. Because if he can do that to his best friend, what would he do to me? And the words, "I'll never do it again," I learned are lies. Because it always happens again. I wished I would have seen the devil in him sooner. When we first got together, Randy told me that he was a recovering alcoholic. I thought, okay. It seemed like he had the drinking under control. So I didn't think anything. One day, his friends had invited us over. All of them had drinks in their hands. They kept telling him, "Oh, come on, one drink ain't gonna hurt ya."
It's only one beer.
Come on.
And finally, he accepted the beer and put it up to his mouth. I said, "You shouldn't do this. You've been sober for over 10 years. Why now?"
Randy, what are you doing?
But it went in one ear and out the other. I was very disappointed. I'm standing back in the kitchen. When he came back, though, I asked him why he was drinking again.
Are you okay?
And he got mad that I asked him that. I can do whatever the hell I want to, and you can't stop me. But he didn't get loud. He'd never talked to me like that before. Since it was the first time he had spoken to me like that, I started thinking, oh my God, really? That doesn't seem... Something's wrong. As soon as we get over the threshold, his demeanor changed. His facial expressions had changed. I could tell how angry he was by the way he looked, by the way the tone of his voice was. I don't want to hear it. And he starts yelling at me, telling me to never talk back to him again. And then he takes his hands and he shoves me. And I fly and I hit the back of the couch. I couldn't believe it. And this smile would come on his face. It was very scary. And then I get up and start to go down the hall, and he shoves me into the walls all the way down the hall.
Get away from me, Rand.
I'm crying and saying, "Don't hurt me. You're hurting me. Stop." Our bedroom was at the end of the hallway. I was able to shut the door and lock it. He was banging on the door. "Let me in, let me in." I was scared. "If you don't open this door, I'm going to kick the door down." He never did. He went into the bathroom and puked his guts up. And then he went and laid down on the couch, went to sleep. My hope is that, okay, maybe this will be a one-time thing. Maybe he won't do it again. I should have tried to run out the door. I should have left him. Everything's or should have, but didn't. I wanted to believe that he was a good person because I loved him. I was in love with him. Up till the end, I believed I could change him, but I was wrong. When I was at church, it felt safe. I felt safer knowing that there was other people around, and of course, there was bruises under my shirts. There would be bruises on my legs. He made sure they were under the clothes. so nobody could see and ask questions. I still remember what the bruises felt like. I still remember putting on a smile when I was hurting really bad, because I was embarrassed. I didn't want anybody to know that I was being beat. I felt ashamed. For people that wonder why I would stay with it, if they haven't been through it, they don't understand. In those dark times, I did an awful lot of praying to God to help me, to help guide me through this. I told him I needed answers. I needed to know what to do. I continued to go to church even though he stopped. I finally began to feel freedom. I finally started feeling a relief of pressure, a relief of stress. I became close friends with a man and his wife. She was my best friend. I could talk to her about anything. They were wonderful people. I started confiding in her probably anywhere between 6 months to a year after I met them. That way it gave me a chance to get that feeling of someone I could trust. I finally got the courage, and I showed her my bruises.
I wanted to show you something. Debra.
She said, "You don't deserve this. You need to leave, and you need to leave soon." I looked at her and said, "You're right. I do. I didn't want to be abused anymore. I didn't want to hurt anymore. I knew I had to leave him, but it wasn't going to be easy." There is always a chance that somebody can come back to church and be that good person and really try hard. But Randy did not. He made the choice not to go back to church. He made the choice not to better himself. One night we were sitting in the kitchen having dinner, and he told me there was something he wanted to tell me.
Some you should know. My father wasn't the only man I've killed.
He didn't tell me when he killed the second person, and he wouldn't tell me why he killed him. He didn't tell me his name. He just told me that he had killed another person. He didn't show any remorse. Randy refused to answer any of my questions. Nothing. He didn't tell me anything. This shook me to my core. I believe he was trying to scare me. I believe he was trying to keep me in line and show me that he was still in control and that he still had his grips on me. That if I tried to leave, I would be victim number 3. I want to know who this man was. I don't even know where he was from. I know nothing about him. And if I can find out or find someone who knows about this person, it would give me closure.
And his first victim was James Kelly, was the man's name. Randy claimed he shot him in self-defense, and it was actually his then father-in-law.
So he shot his father-in-law and then his own father. What in the hell was going through his brain? That's as close to sadist as I can think of. It just makes me so angry to know that the two men that he killed were both relatives, which makes me think now that he could have killed me anytime. But back then, I didn't know. I can't understand how I could be so stupid and so just not being able to see the picture. I was afraid that if I tried to leave, he would hurt me real bad. I was afraid he would kill me. And he was the kind of person that would look for me. He would find me anywhere I went. Many, many nights I would cry myself to sleep, wondering if I was going to be dead the next day. Because I wouldn't know whether when he came to bed, if he was going to kill me, or if I would wake up the next morning. One day I was talking to my best friend and explained to her what was going on. And she said, "Debra, you have had enough. You've had enough done to you." And she said, "Debra, get out of there. Come stay with us for a couple days." And I said yes. That is when I turned around and it's Randy.
I have to go.
And the door closed behind him, and I knew he was angry. I saw the expression on his face. I was standing there just froze in fear. That's when he started yelling at me.
"Where do you get on telling people our business?"
Nobody was supposed to know what went on behind our closed doors. Nobody. And when he started yelling at me, my body tensed up, and I said, "Enough."
Stop!
And I started yelling back and said it wasn't my fault. I didn't do this. You did. I felt proud of myself. I actually did something that I have never done before. And that's when he said, "Stop. Don't you dare go anywhere." He had never left me in the middle of a fight. It scared me. because I had no idea what was coming. And he came back out with a shotgun and aimed it point blank at my forehead. It is frightening staring down the barrel of a shotgun because you don't know if he's going to pull the trigger. I realized that he'd shot 2 people before and that it wouldn't be anything new to him. And I was so terrified that I couldn't move. I was begging him not to shoot me. I was crying. I was literally bawling my head off because I didn't want to die. So I would beg him and plead, don't shoot me, don't shoot me. I won't do it again. Please don't shoot me. It felt like forever. When he let down his gun and turned away, I had all kinds of emotions. Angry, sad, terrified. All them emotions were going through my head. All I could think about was my escape. I feel he was preying on my fear, preying on the anger. He could kill me anytime. I acted as if I was asleep, but I wasn't. I pretended to be asleep until Randy left for work. The moment I hear the truck leave, I got up and started my plans. I moved as fast as I could go. Every time I would hear a truck or a car come even close to the house, I was terrified. I do believe that if he came home and found me packing, he would have killed me. He knew that my parents lived in Oregon, but he never knew where. When I called my parents and told them what had happened and what I was doing, they said, "Debra, get out of there quick and come home." When I left Arkansas, that was when a lot of the tension left me. I was able to breathe again. I was able to relax a little bit. And I felt safe. The only person I told that I was leaving was my best friend. And she was proud of me. She said, "I'm glad you're going. I'll miss you." I decided I wanted a divorce. This meant that I would have to go back to Arkansas and face him. I wanted to be the one to serve him, to prove to myself that I could do it, to prove to myself that I don't need to be afraid of him anymore. I got all the paperwork together and took a deep breath to let it all out. And then I walked up to the door. Randy had no idea that I was coming. I did not know how he would react. But I wasn't scared anymore. I was ready. I was ready. When I knocked on the door and Randy opened it, he looked at me with surprise in his eyes. I think that he hoped I was back, that things could be normal again until I handed him the divorce papers.
It's over.
I handed him the papers, I handed him the pen, and I said, sign these. Sign them now. I believe he was very surprised. I think he finally realized that I had changed. His hold on me was over. When the papers were signed, I was thrilled. And I looked at him straight in the eye and I said, it's done. It's over with. You will never touch me again. And I turned around and walked away. And 30 days later, I was divorced and took my maiden name back. I was done with him completely. I could make my life the way it should have been in the first place, happy. The police said they wanted to talk to me about Randy Gay. I told them that Randy and I were divorced. I don't want to have anything to do with him. He's out of my life now. And then the police told me that Randy Gay had killed a woman. When I heard that Randy shot a lady named Connie, I felt anger, I felt sadness, and I wasn't surprised at all. That could have been me. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. That's Randy standing by a cop. He should never, ever be smiling. He's smiling as if he's proud of what he did. There's no remorse at all in that face. Randy looks like he was proud that he killed Connie. He looks happy about it. He doesn't look as though he's ashamed of anything. And his eyes are laughing. They're laughing. That right there makes me angry too. Randy's a monster in every way, shape, or form. Killing somebody? Smiling about it? Only monsters would do that.
In May of 2011, investigators discovered a body in the Washita National Forest in Hot Springs. The woman had been shot in the face and bound up in plastic. The victim's name was Connie Snow.
He didn't even have the decency to bury her. What kind of person can do that? I did not realize at the beginning that there was that much evil in him. I just couldn't see it. I did not expect that much evil to be in him. To me, he's the devil. He's a selfish, arrogant bastard. He needs to be ripped apart because he ripped apart so many families and so many hearts he destroyed and crushed. Randy has a lot more victims than just the 3 he put in the ground. This picture to me tells me that it's Randy's father.
That's Randy.
What? He didn't used to look like that. Wow. He aged horribly. He still looks like he's got that dark side in him. I feel he's looking straight at me. And it looks like he's saying, that should have been you.
What should have been you?
I should have been the one that got shot. I hate this man with a passion. Even though I'm a Christian lady, it still makes me glad that he's in prison on death row. I will be the happiest woman in the world when his execution date arrives. The only way I can get closure is knowing that he's 6 feet under. I had a real hard time feeling happy after this because he hurt me so bad. Even though the bruises all healed, I still had that pain inside in my heart, in my chest. It wasn't going away. Randy stole my innocence. He stole my belief in good people. I lost that belief because I couldn't trust anybody anymore. It was very scary. I knew down deep in my heart, I was never going to let any man treat me like that again. Never. I deserve better than that. I am better than that. For the first time in my life, it felt fantastic making my own decisions for myself. I felt like a totally different person. I was able to smile. I was able to laugh. I was able to leave the fear behind me. It's gone. He's gone. I don't have to worry about it anymore. I am very happy now. I've found a good man who treats me with respect and decency. We've been married for 16 years, and he's been moral support because he knows everything that went on. I feel very lucky and blessed that I escaped, but then again, I feel that this has made me a better person. I've learned to be strong, and I can help other women in that position.
There's smoke everywhere. Oh my God. It was horrific. It was horrific. Oh God.
Did you find her? Oh my God!
I just can't believe the footage.
Look at her! Oh, if you don't let me go, let me go!
They wouldn't let me go. I knew where she was at in the house. And they didn't. It's so sad. Oh my God.
What happened?
This is a picture of me and Michael. This was when we first got together. This was like the honeymoon stage of our relationship. So we were just happy and in love. The honeymoon stage of our relationship was amazing. He treated me like no other guy had ever treated me. The man that I fell in love with, I don't know what happened to him. I have no idea. I never in life thought that Michael was capable of doing what he had done. I just didn't know that somebody could just do something so horrific. I never thought this is where we would be. He took my soul. I first met Michael. We worked together. I was a server. He was the lead guy in the kitchen. Actually, I remember the first day, his first day. I remember him walking in the door. I remember looking at him. I liked his body. I liked his personality. Michael was hilarious, honestly. Me and Michael would flirt a lot. You could just tell that we had a vibe. I had a crush on him for a while before I had approached him. I just kept it a secret because we were both in relationships. I knew that Michael wasn't happy. I wasn't happy. So one day, I just had decided to give him my phone number. And he started hanging around me and fell in love with me very fast. Very, very fast. I feel like, honestly, it was within a couple of days. I had never had really anybody that loved me the way that he did. My mother, when she first met Michael, she liked him. Everybody liked him. We all thought that he was amazing. Everybody thought that he was the best boyfriend that I had had so far. My daughters, they were 7 and 10. And he was really good with my kids. That's really what made me fall in love with him, is the way that he was towards the girls. It was just, he was amazing to them. He never told them no. He was always there. He would have been the perfect stepdad for the girls. One morning, he had called me and told me that he was on his way. And I'm like, okay. So he ended up coming over.
Mike?
Hey, Courtney.
He told his child's mother that he couldn't stay away from me. I was like, I'm out of here, and left. And he had gotten all of his stuff, and moved in with me. We didn't have an open conversation about him moving in. It just kind of happened. Michael had moved in very fast, probably within a week or two. I just don't know what happened. It hit me all at once, like boom, he's in the house. It's too late, even if I wanted him to move out. So it was overwhelming because I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to feel. I just remember being very, very overwhelmed. It's about how fast that it was. I remember my gut was just, it's kind of telling me something, but the kids loved Mike. My girls didn't have a good relationship with their father, so I think that's why they latched on to Mike so much.
Take a breath this way.
The bond that they had, I just put my feelings aside and decided, you know what, I'm gonna try to make this work.
Here it is.
So pretty much after that, he really never left. And then a monster ended up moving in with us. You could definitely tell the obsession. He would follow me everywhere around the house. I'm talking about doing dishes, taking a shower, going to the bathroom. Like, he was always there. I'd always be like, get away. I just thought he was just loved me and obsessed with me and wanted to be with me. But that was the very first sign, the first red flag. That's when it all started. The jealousy. One day, Maddie came over. Maddie is my best friend in the whole world. She means everything to me. She is my rock.
Oh, that reminds me, I have something for you.
And she had a surprise for me. And she had bought me this beautiful sea turtle little necklace. I'm so into sea turtles. I love sea turtles.
I love it, Maddie. I'm so glad you like it. Thank you so much.
So after I opened up and seen that she had got me a sea turtle, I was like ecstatic. I put it on immediately. And during my happiness moment, I had looked up and Michael was not happy. He didn't say anything. I just remember him standing behind her, looking at me, giving me dirty looks. His face was telling me everything. I just ignored it. And I definitely didn't want Maddie to see what he was doing. So I kind of just looked at him and looked away. And when I had looked up, he had left. He told me that I didn't need a best friend anymore, that he was my best friend. Because, one, he didn't really have any friends. No friends. Absolutely none. He used to tell me all the time, I don't get along well with others. I think that's when his hatred towards Maddie came in. It was just like, there's my competition. You could just tell that that was a problem for him. Just evil. Very evil. Shortly after Maddie had given me the necklace, one day she came over. We were all sitting, having a good time, just laughing, talking. And then, literally out of nowhere, completely went off on Maddie.
That's it. I had enough of you.
His whole entire personality, everything, demeanor changed.
I am so dead.
He started screaming at her, saying horrible things to her, horrific things about her children, about her husband. It was like he targeted her. It was like a predator and prey.
I feel sorry for you.
Maddie was very upset.
That's enough, Mike!
I kind of tried to split it up. I was just trying to de-escalate the situation. Maddie was just so upset. And yeah, I think he enjoyed hurting her feelings. It was pretty devastating for me. I'm not gonna lie. he just was so mean to her, and she's just such a kind person. I just thought it was an unfixable situation. I mean, it was so bad. I didn't know how he could make it better. And I remember the next day, I couldn't look at him. I couldn't look at him. I couldn't speak to him. I was sick. I completely ignored him. And I remember that just killing him.
Are you mad at me?
You know exactly what you did.
And Michael had told me that he didn't remember going off on Maddie. I don't remember. You know? I got too drunk. I don't remember saying that. I even told him I loved him and I didn't want to break up with him, but he had to fix it or he had to go.
Don't make me choose between the two of you.
And he had that crazy look in his eye. It was like a glaze over his eye would happen. That's how I knew that evil was about to come out. He said, nobody's leaving this relationship unless they're in a body bag. In the beginning of Michael and I's relationship, I felt like he was perfect. And I mean, I would see signs, but ignore them because I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to feel. Like I said, Michael was always there for my kids. Every softball game, he would show up for my daughters. He was just somebody that I've always wanted. He was a great man at one point. You know, so I didn't want to leave him. I wanted him to make it right with my best friend. And he apologized and she forgave him, but she more or less forgave him for me. I was very leery about him going on this trip after. Honestly, I knew he was going to have an episode out there. It's all you can eat, all you can drink. And I mean, it didn't take much for the monster to come out. And I was just so leery, especially after him going off on Maddie. I was like, oh my goodness, this could happen again. And he just had to convince me that he was going to be on his best behavior. This picture right here is when I took Michael to Punta Cana. We were in an island called Sayona Island. This beautiful island in the Dominican, and I was able to take him there. It's breathtaking. It's one of the most prettiest places in the whole world. And for me to be able to share that experience with him was just amazing. We seemed so happy. This was a good time in our lives. Well, for the first 5 days. But at the end, it was just horrible. When we got to Punta Cana, everything was fine. We all got along. We all did excursions. It was super fun. I ended up buying my mom an excursion. It was like $80. My mother and I were very close. She had done so much for me, and we were best friends. When I wanted to take her there and pay her back for all the wonderful things she did for me, it was my turn for her to see paradise. And then after that, we went back to the room, and we had gotten a huge argument.
You want to shower first? Our dinner reservation isn't until late.
You had no right.
And it was just over me paying for my mother's excursion.
That was my money you spent. You understand that? Mine!
He said I was wasting all of his money. I had explained to him that I had more money in the U.S., that I could easily pay him back. It wasn't that big of a deal. He went absolutely hysterical over it. And it just led into a massive brawl.
You never should have spent it in the first place!
So my daughter had gotten a couple really big conch shells. And I'll never forget this. He picked up one of the prettiest seashells and slammed it on the ground. And I was like, oh my gosh, that is not replaceable, and that was my daughter's. Maddie and them were in another room. They could hear me and him screaming. I remember them coming down to our room, seeing what was going on.
What the hell's going on?
Mike was going off on my mother. I do remember him calling her a bitch that day. Security had to come. They had kept telling me that if you don't get him under control, we're calling the police. And I kept telling security that I was gonna calm him down and please do not call the police, And I kept telling Michael, you have got to chill out. They are going to call the police. And we finally ended up leaving him. We went out and had dinner. Well, we thought we got rid of him. And I'll never forget this. He sat down at the table and was like, y'all thought you were going to leave me.
Morning.
He looked at my mom and was like, I want to apologize for what happened last night. Do you accept my apology? And my mom was like, no. And he was like, okay, and walked away. I mean, she didn't like him after that. Everybody put up with him just for me. Nobody really liked him after that. Everybody got to see the real Mike. A monster. Looking back on why I didn't leave Michael, it's disturbing. I should have left him, but even though we would have problems, I stayed with him just because I didn't think I would be able to find anybody that would have that connection with my kids. And I loved him, and I didn't want to start over. I wanted to try to make it work. It's sick, but it's just how I felt. I never in life thought that he would ever hurt me. I have a lot of self-blame because if I would have left him, this would have never happened. So there's not, honestly, a second that goes by where I don't think about it. It's forever ruined my life. So when we got home from Punta Cana, we didn't really speak. Didn't have too much to say to him after that. I remember telling him I didn't know if this was going to work. And he always told me he wasn't going to leave. He was so obsessed with me, I knew he wasn't going to let me go. There was no way of getting out of this relationship without somebody getting hurt. He was not going to just walk away from me. It wasn't that easy. I had told him I'm taking my mom to Mexico by herself. Just me, her, and the two little ones, my kids. We're gonna have a girls' trip because every year I would get anxiety about her getting older, and I didn't want Punta Cana to be her last trip. And she was turning 69. We always went on vacation on her birthday. So I was like, you know what, you're gonna sit out this one, buddy. And I'm taking my mom. And he did not handle that well and kept that inside. Another thing he bottled up. He bottled everything inside, and that's when things would explode. I remember saying to my mom, gosh, I barely have talked to Mike this vacation. I just feel like distance was starting to come. So I immediately called him.
Mike?
It was definitely different.
Yeah, I'm here.
I just knew something was off. He was acting weird. And I asked him, what are you doing? That's what I asked him. What are you doing? And he told me that he was going through my computer. And I will never forget the feeling in my stomach when he said that. It was like I had been violated. The feeling, I can still feel it. It was just the worst feeling ever. I felt like I just got punched in the stomach. It was just like, wow. And my best friend and I sent her everything. Can only imagine, that's my best friend. She's in my diary. I would complain about him to Maddie and tell her everything. And no, she didn't like him. I think he read everything that me and her have discussed. Everything. My mother and I got back home July 19th from Mexico, pretty early in the morning. I ended up going to bed, and I just remember, before I knew it, he had pulled me out of bed, put me in a wrestling chokehold, not like this, but with my neck in between his arms like this. I remember digging my fingernails into his arms. And when he was choking me, I was thinking about my kids. I didn't know if I was going to make it. I didn't know. I mean, my fingernails weren't digging hard enough. I thought I was going to die. I thought that was it. I didn't know. I thought I was going to die. I could feel myself dying. And honestly, I just thought about my girls. Before I knew it, he let me go. When I asked him, why'd you let me go? And he said, because I heard you gasping for air. I was more in shock, and when I go into shock, I don't talk. So I didn't say anything. He had already had it planned when I was in Mexico that he was going to kill me when I got home. I'm wide awake at this point. Laid there, stared at the ceiling, debating on what I was going to do. I wanted to stay with him. I wanted to make it work. But his actions, I didn't have a choice. I've got 2 little girls that depend on me. I can't put myself or them in harm's way. I'm all they have. So I just knew I had to get out of the situation. It's about 7 in the morning. I woke up, and that's when I took my ring off, took his key off, packed up all of his stuff. I took all of his clothes, put them in trash bags. He slept through the whole thing, through me packing up all of his stuff, clothes. I mean, everything. He slept through it all. Because I wasn't waking him up at all. And I knew he had to be at work. I didn't care.
What the hell?
And it was when he woke up, I remember him being like, babe, you didn't even wake me up. I'm running late for work. Babe? How are you calling me babe? And you just tried to kill me 5 hours ago. And I looked right at him and I was like, we're over.
You need to leave. Pack your stuff.
I'm not going anywhere.
He started freaking out. But I had called the police. I think I was just trying to make it work, trying to figure out how we could make this work, even though I knew it was impossible. I mean, I knew it was impossible because I couldn't get over. I couldn't forgive him. Even though he could tell me he was sorry a million times, I couldn't get over it. So one day, I went out to the garage to go mow my grass, and I noticed that both gas cans were gone. And I just had this weird feeling, I didn't understand why they were gone. So I asked my daughters if they had seen the gas cans, and they told me that they had seen them in the back of Mike's trunk.
Hey, Mike?
What's up?
I asked Michael where the gas cans were. He had told me that there was a person that ran out of gas up the street And he grabbed the gas cans and then went back and helped him, which is completely out of his character because he doesn't get along well with others. So why are you stopping and helping a stranger? That was the very first big lie where it started. And he just looked at me and didn't say anything. I just had a feeling. I mean, things weren't good in our relationship. He had already tried to kill me. Gas cans were missing. Just things weren't adding up. I just knew something was off. I always say when you're in a relationship, you're only meeting the representative for the first 6 months. After that, you really meet the real person. And we all loved him at first because that wasn't the real Mike who we were meeting. It was who he wanted us to believe that who he was, and that just wasn't it. One night we were sleeping, and when I went to roll over, creepiest thing, he was looking at me while I was sleeping. Just laying there looking at me, staring at me. I was like, ooh. I was like, you're a creep. I'm like, turn over. I mean, I was so scared after I let him back in my house. It's crazy that I even made the decision to let him back in my house. It was constantly on my mind. Just constantly where were the gas cans gone? Why? I just don't understand. So, September 22nd, 2022. I woke up, I went to the gym. I made a couple other stops, and I remember I sent him a text, and I was just like, I'm tired of being scared. I'm tired of being scared. But I was so fearful. And he never responded or anything like that. And I came in the house after the gym. He was standing in the kitchen in all black jeans, black t-shirt. I walked back to the bedroom, started to make my bed. On the last corner where you have to tuck your sheet in, I had to flop on my bed in order to do that. And as soon as I got on the bed, he was on my back. I thought he wanted to have sex with me at first. And I was like, get off me. I was like, I have PTSD from when you tried to kill me. He was like, nah, bitch. When he called me a bitch, I knew it was serious. I turned around at him and was like, how long have you had this planned? And he was like, ever since I've been back. And then he put me in another chokehold. Before you know it, we were tussling on the floor. He had duct tape and a knife behind a picture that I have on my nightstand of the girls. I bent over like this, and I could feel the knife blades on my neck. I kept begging him. I said, Mike, please, please, I have the girls. That's what I just kept saying. I was like, please, I have the girls. I have the girls. Please don't do it. And all of a sudden, he just screamed at the top of his lungs and took that knife and stabbed my bed. So after he stabbed my bed, he just walked out of the room. It was so surreal, but unreal at the same time, because it was just, I couldn't believe he just stabbed my bed. I couldn't believe he just attacked me. I couldn't believe any of this was going on. And then I heard something in the bathroom. Before I know it, I turn around and he's coming out of the bathroom with a gas can. And he tells me, bitch, I'm gonna kill you, and just throws it dead in my face. I remember after he threw the gasoline on me and he got the lighter lit. So I immediately took off and ran out the side door. He jumped over the couch, splashed more gas on me, chased me outside. I'm screaming, help. One of my friends from grade school was my neighbor, so I ran into her house and ran into her bathroom, grabbed a towel, told her to call 911, Mike's trying to kill me. So, I come out of my friend's house. I look down to my left, and Michael's on his way down to my mom's with the casket. And I was running after him and screaming for help. And I just remember being so, winded. I couldn't catch up to him. Before you know it, he's already in my mom's house. I remember running up to my mom's house, and I could just hear her there screaming at the top of her lungs, screaming. And when I walk in, she was already doused. I guess he had already got her in her face. And I was screaming, "Oh my God, Mom, are you okay?" He looked right at me and says, "Bitch, we're all gonna die today." Threw more gasoline right in my face. So I didn't have a choice. I had to run back out of her house. He locked her and him inside the house. And I just stood there. I couldn't do anything. I just knew he was gonna kill her.
Let me go. Let me go.
I feel like the fire department, the police officers, I feel like everybody went into shock. I even feel like the police officers didn't know what to do. They didn't know what was going on. They didn't know what to do. That's horrible. They wouldn't let me go. They made me watch it. It's like they just needed to let me go and be with her. I'm like, why? Oh my gosh. Holding me back from her. Oh my gosh.
Did you find her?
Oh my God. Oh, my mom. It's so hard to live this life without her, I swear. There ain't nothing worse than losing your mom. There ain't nothing worse than it. I don't wish it on anybody. These are Michael's mugshots. This one here on the left is him just getting released from the hospital. He looks like a monster. I don't think that he got hurt near as bad as he should. It's not fair that he survived at all. It's bad. That is horrific. I hope every move, every ache, every time he picks up something, he feels hurt and pain. You know, and it's so sad to want something so bad to happen to somebody that I loved so much at one point, and now he just disgusts me. This other picture is Michael's current DOC picture. He just got moved to a new correctional facility. This upsets me. I'm very upset that he doesn't look like this. This is how he should look for the rest of his life. Actually, when I seen him, I was very angry that he looks like this. I feel that he should not have gotten his color back. It really hurts me that he recovered like that. This right here is my impact statement that I wrote to Michael when I was on the stand. So this is what I had told him. I can still remember all of the horrific details of that day, like it had happened yesterday. It is still so hard to process what led to this extremely violent attack. I still cannot understand what would drive you to want to hurt me the way you did. Can you imagine what that experience is like to literally watch your mom being burned alive? Michael, I brought you into my home and I trusted you around my children. We loved you, and I would have done anything for you. I do not understand how you could try to kill me and how you could kill my mother right in front of me. Due to your actions, my mother was not even recognizable. The only way I can identify my mother's body is by her ring. I hope her screams continue to haunt you as they do me. I hope and pray here today the court will see you for what you are, an absolute monster that should never be free to walk the streets again. You stole my mom's life, and for that, I hope you spend the rest of your life in prison rotting. I'm a loner, now. I have PTSD. I don't, really want to or even care to meet anybody at this point. I just don't know if I'm going to have the ability to fully trust anybody. I feel like I'm always going to be scared in the back of my head. Your gut is telling you something is wrong, and do not overlook it. Look into it, if anything. This pictures of my mother on her birthday. Her and my daughter share a birthday. And she would kill me if she ever seen this picture. She hated pictures. And I loved it. And I love this picture of us. And we look so happy. This is all we had was each other. She's so pretty. We did everything for each other. What she lacked, I gave. What I lacked, she gave, We always had each other's back. She was my best friend. This is literally one of my favorite pictures. I miss that smile. I just received these a couple of hours ago from Troy Police Station. I finally got my mother's rings. I was only expecting one. I thought she only had one. And I got surprised with my other one. I didn't know that this one had made it. This is my birthstone. I made it too. I've been waiting for these for so long. And I finally got them today. I am going to take them to the jeweler and get them sized so I can wear them. It's just so mind-boggling that she's not even here. It's a bittersweet, I'm glad I got them, but they should still be on her fingers. I get a lot of ink therapy. I get a lot of tattoos. Her favorite flower was the sunflower, so I went and got 4 bees representing my mom, me, and my 2 children. And we got Let It Be because that was her jam. I just went and got this, and this just represents me and my 2 children, and then I got the rose for my mother. This is what we called her, Sue. This is probably one of my favorites. Every time I would go through a really hard time in my life, my mom would always tell me, Courtney, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And One day she wrote it down on a piece of paper, and I went and got it tattooed on me. But it does fit my life. Getting the tattoos, for me, helps me not focus on pain so much. Something I get to take home and look at. It's a part of my mom. And it just makes me feel like she's closer with me. It's kind of like she's gone, but she's not, because it's like I bring a piece of artwork home with me of her. So every day right now, I'm just putting one foot in front of the other and trying to figure out how I'm supposed to live this life without my best friend.